My name is Margaret Nanjeko. I'm 41 years old. I'm one of the first beneficiaries of Mully Children's Family. I was rescued in 1992. This was after the clashes that took place in 1992, and therefore I ended up going to the streets together with my siblings. I'm the second born in a family of 6. Before I met Daddy Charles Mulli, our life was so difficult because during the clashes, my mother and my father separated, and my mother had to go with all the children. Considering that my mother was illiterate, she could not secure any job to feed us. Therefore, many a times we used to go to bed hungry. We never went to school, so we started doing house chores. I was employed at the age of 12 to be a house help, and I was being paid only 200 shillings. And that is what could help my mother to cater for my young siblings. And therefore, during that time on the streets, searching for food, borrowing food, I met Daddy Charles Mulli. But then my health was not that good because we lived in a very debilitated environment. I used to be a very sick girl, but Daddy Charles Mulli took me just the way I was. I was also mentally disturbed because of the environment and what we had gone through during all that time. So when I was introduced to Mully Children's Family, I was among the first girls to be rescued, and therefore I had spent quite a lot of time outside before going to school, so I had to join grade 4, and in life was better. Now I realized that there was love because Daddy Charles Mulli treated me as one of his family, and one of his second last born son was with me in the same class, and therefore during this time I came to know about Christ because Daddy Mulli is a God-loving man. He took us through the love of Christ, and he also encouraged us that one day we shall be better people in the world, and we took this seriously through the faith that he had implanted in us. So I went through grade 4 to grade 8. After that, I joined high school, which is from grade 12. All this happened in Mully Children's Family. I was taken through spiritual nourishment. I became the head girl, and this is through Mr. Daddy Mully's effort. He always encouraged us. He knew all of us by names, yet we were so many people. And then because we were growing very fast in Eldoret, where we were first rescued, we had to move to Ndalani Children's Home. At this point, things were a little bit difficult because Ndalani was the driest place that I've ever seen. There were no trees, there was nothing. But Daddy Mully will always tell us that one day that will be a land of milk and honey, but we could not see that because sometimes we will think that it was not okay, but we believed in that. And I remember there was no electricity, we used to struggle very much, but the faith that he put in us was so great. I remember the only car that he had was a pickup, and he could ferry us from Eldoret, and we always cheered him up when he was driving because he didn't have a driver, he drove us himself. So during this time, I worked hard, and he taught us, apart from spiritual education, there was farming, there was love that he showed us. We lived as a family. We never knew whether there are tribes under the sun because we lived as one family. And therefore, when I finished my grade 12, at first I wanted to do law, but I didn't manage. But he called me one day and told me, I know you can be a good nurse. And I was resistant somehow because I didn't want to be a nurse. But he told me one day you'll see why I told you that you can be a good nurse. And therefore, I followed that. He took me through college. He paid all my school fees. It's so amazing that even though I went to a school where people were so rich, he could pay my school fees earlier than any other student. When other people had to go home for school fees, I never went home for school fees. He encouraged me a lot, and that helped me to work so hard. And I wanted also to be a great person, considering that I came from a background that is so poor, where there was no name. He's given me a name. And therefore, after I finished my college in Kijabe Mission Hospital, I just worked there for 2 years. And from there, I was able to be accommodated in Nairobi Hospital. I've been in Nairobi Hospital for the last 11 years now. And during this time after my college, I was able to get a husband, and I have two beautiful girls, Michelle and Sally Ann. And I'm very happy that I'm in Nairobi Hospital, all because of Mully Children's Family, and specifically Daddy Mully and Mommy Esther. If it was not for them, I will not be where I am today, and I'm very appreciative, and I walk proud knowing that I've been brought up by parents who know God and loving parents, the biggest family in the world. Thank you.